Hey guys, Amanda here at Bare Bones Living. Welcome back to my garden. And today I am sitting next to my very sad looking blueberries. And today's mission, my mission for today, is to up-pot these and fertilize them and take care of them as much as I can. Unfortunately, I had these I have grown my blueberries in pots for years, and it has worked out really great for me. I've grown my blueberries in pots for years, and it's worked out really great for me. I did try that last one over there, which I don't know if you can really see right now, but I'll show you, is my oldest blueberry bush, and that's actually my saddest blueberry bush. Because I learned all my trials and tribulations on that one. And I had it originally, I think that's like a 10-year-old plant, quite honestly. I had it originally in a pot, then I planted it, I believe, in the ground at a previous house that I lived in, and then I dug it out, and I had it in a pot for a while, and then when I moved here, I tried planting it out in my garden here, and it just, I don't think my soil here in Chicago is very great for it. I've tried putting like acid, the granules that make your soil more acid and things like that, and that never really helped. And so then I got these pots and I put it back into a pot, and it has since lived. I've never killed it, but it is obviously very stunted. It doesn't have a whole lot of growth like the other two do. I think these two are the same age. I think they're like maybe 3 or 4 years old, and they look both much happier, but unfortunately I had them in my greenhouse that I showed you guys a while back that we actually just replaced, and after the tornado destroyed our greenhouse, they were exposed to the elements all winter. And I was pregnant, and I didn't really think to put them in any cover or anything like that. So they did get a little bit of a harsher winter than they have gotten in years past. And then this lovely pesky puppy of mine actually took that little one and ripped it right out of the pot. So I still have faith that it is going to live on, but it definitely needs some TLC. So that's on the agenda today, and let's get started. I have a fun project for us. Okay, so let me show you these blueberries. These first two are the more recent blueberries that are like 3 or 4 years old. And as you can see, they have a lot of growth on them, a lot more branches. They look terrible now, but I'm hoping with this up-potting and fertilization that they're going to flourish and be great. And then this is my OG, really sad looking blueberry plant that has not so much dirt left in it because my puppy tore it all out, and I was just not up for saving it the way that it needed to be saved at the time. So this is the condition that they are in now, and let's see if we can do something better for them. So this is the home that they are destined for, and these are gigantic. I can't remember how big these pots are. I will look at the size of them and I'll post it probably right down here somewhere, the size of these. But I ordered these guys from Home Depot and they do have drainage holes in the bottom, but you can see that they are filled with sticks and branches. And that is because I'm going to try kind of building or using like the Hugelkultur type of garden bed method. And what that is you start with big logs. People usually do this in like a raised bed, but these are so big that I don't want to fill these all with soil. That's a lot of soil. So for one, I wanted to do this for a cost savings because I pulled all of these sticks out of my yard. Also, I'm going to be using this for a drainage, to help with drainage. And it also builds up a better foundation for your plant because it's a layering method. And so you start with big logs, which I'm not going to put like a gigantic log in a pot because I'll never be able to move a pot. So this is the largest of the sticks that I used. So you start with big logs, then you move to like twigs, then you move to like leaves and grass clippings and that kind of like natural debris. And then you move to a compost or a soil. So it's like a layering effect. And what you technically are supposed to be doing is creating a mound with it, and as all that stuff starts to break down, then your garden kind of settles to being flat. I don't know how much of a mound I'm going to be able to make in these. But so this is also, like I said, this is going to be a cost savings because I'm using everything that I have in my yard. I'm using the sticks. I'm going to be using the compost that we make. I have 3 different compost piles and 3 different types of compost that I will be showing you. And I'm going to do, and they're in like 3 different kind of stages. So I'm going to be using all things that came from my yard or my kitchen or my chickens or whatever. And then I'm also using, this is coconut coir here, which is really good to help with drainage. It's similar to peat moss. And then I'm going to be fertilizing these. So let's get started here. And I just took off the label, and this is what this is. It's a 22-inch pot. I think it'll be a good enough size. I think they're large, very large, especially for my plants right now. But that is what all 3 of those are. And I got these from Home Depot. So what I have back here is our back compost pile. We did not create this compost pile. The previous owner did. And it was pretty full when we bought the house. We've lived here for 7 years now, and we have obviously removed some and added our own stuff to it, but it has always consistently been about this full. And we don't do anything to this compost pile. I don't till it because it's way too big. I don't spray, like I don't put water on it. I don't try to balance it or anything like that. We just basically put chicken waste in here and our grass clippings that we don't give the chickens and the leaves in the fall, and then any kind of like garden scraps or something like that, and we just throw it all in here and we let nature take its course. So this is going to be my next layer because this stuff is not very broken down, especially the stuff on the top is not very broken down. In the middle of this, or like a foot down, has got to be like the richest soil in the world because it's been composting for years. I just don't have a really great way to get to it, and it's crazy when you start digging through here because you hit it just shows that compost really is better when you can help it and you can rotate it and things like that, because even though this has been composting for years, you dig down and you hit a whole layer of green grass, or you hit a whole layer of leaves, and it's like it's been frozen in time down there. But so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take off the top here, and this, like I said, this is going to be my next layer. And unfortunately our wheelbarrow is buried in the shed where I can't get to it right now, so I'm going to have to take lots of trips filling up this 5-gallon bucket, but we're going to get it done. Got to get things done when I can, when the boys are sleeping. So now I'm just going to add this into here. I don't really know exactly how much I'm going to need for each planter, so I think that's probably pretty good. So I'm just going to get two more of those loads for the other two. So this is actually our second form of composting, and this is a compost barrel system that we bought at Costco, and it's 2 separate barrels, so that you can have 2 different stages. The way that we use it is 2 different stages of composting. And I think this one should be empty. Yep, pretty much. Okay, so this one is basically empty, except we just emptied this, and Mike has just started a new batch in here. And then you'll see that this one, you can see like the buckles on the front of this one, because this one is face up. They rotate, like they roll. Here, I'll show you. They roll so that you can like put them over on their, you know, on the tops of them, so that everything gets mixed up and composts at the same rate. So this one is actually flipped upside down to get this. This one's almost done. So I'm going to take the stuff that Mike cleaned out of here, and he actually has it in our greenhouse ready for me to use. So we're going to use that compost as our next layer. And as you can see, we have beautiful compost in here that Mike harvested out. Unfortunately, our bin has seen better days. I'm assuming, for one, this is extremely heavy, and for two, this is an outside bin, so the weather has gotten to it and looks like it's snapped on them, unfortunately. So that might be the end of this bin, but I'm going to be harvesting this lovely compost as my next layer. And this isn't the finest of compost. As you can see, there's still some larger chunks in here. You can see some pieces of bark in here. So this isn't like super fine finished compost necessarily, but it'll work great for what I'm going to be using it for. And now I'm going to add some of this coconut core. Oh my god, this thing is like a brick. Oh yeah. And I am just going to get my hands in here and I'm going to mix this around. And get that coconut core mixed in there pretty good. That's going to help with our drainage. And then I think I'm going to, I also have worm compost. That is our finest and obviously our richest compost. But I don't have any that is ready to go right now. I used what I had ready. You guys already saw that. And I used that in our strawberry tower. So I think what I'm going to do is top this off with some potting mix that I have. So I just top dressed this with some potting soil that I'm going to be mixing in. And now I have this Blueberries Alive from Gardens Alive. It's a fertilizer. And I'm going to be putting a cup of this in each pot. And I'm going to mix that all around. And then I'm going to water this in. And get these blueberries in. And so you guys will see, this is why I wanted to up pot these. I took this out of the pot and those are all the roots. Like, it is holding together solid. So that pot I had it in was way too small and was totally strangling it. And that is why they need to move ASAP. I actually need to dig that deeper. So as you guys can see, those are nice and potted up and watered in. And then I got this one over here too. And I'm very happy to have this done, and I'm hoping for the best. And this is one of the highlights of our garden. The boys absolutely love to come out and pick berries off of our raspberry bushes and our blueberry bushes. And now that they're on our patio, I'm never going to get a blueberry because they're just going to come out here and scarf them all down. But that is the point of having them, right? So I'm totally happy with how this turned out. Pro tip, move them to where they're going to be before you fill them. I was filling them all the way over there, and I had to drag them over here. But if you're gonna do this, think ahead. Don't be like me. But totally happy that this is done and hoping for the best from these. Look at that sad blueberry plant. Oh, you can see where the dog totally just destroyed it. But, you know, things happen. If it doesn't come back, I'll go and buy another one. But I'm still holding out hope. But thanks for joining me today, guys. And I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you guys for stopping by today and joining in on our journey here at Bare Bones Living. We'll catch you on the next one.